Hi, I'd like to explain a problem in a kushya in Tosphot. Not the same thing as a problem. Speaking English, let me just explain that in Torah, kushiot are not the same thing as problems. In Torah, we love questions. A question on something in a Gemara or in general is the greatest thing there is. It's not a problem. It's a good thing. So let me just say there's a kushya in Tosphot. So the basic the thing comes from Daf Tzadik Zion, 70 page, picking up in page 79 of Bava Metzia, where the Gemara brings the statement of Rav Yehuda that a certainty and an uncertainty, you go by the certainty. Two people come into the court, and one says, you owe me $50, the other one says, I don't know, I don't remember. Well, the court says, you pay him. That's an argument between Amoraim, the people that wrote the Gemara, before the Mishnah, that is after the Mishnah. And the Gemara asks on that apparently, well, it's not enough time to get into side issues over here. So Tosphot asks on this statement of Rav Yehuda that you go by the certainty from the Gemara and Bava Kama, that over there it says if you have, let's say, an ox that gores a cow that was pregnant, and you find that both the cow, in other words, the baby cow was it had also been damaged from the goring, so the owner of the ox has to pay both, or maybe it just it miscarried before that. So the Gemara Rabbi Yehuda over there says no problem. Is that says that until there's a proof that's brought, we say that only the cow is hurt by the ox, because there's no proof. Even though in that case the owner of the ox is saying, I wasn't there, I can't. I mean, when he says he knows, we know that he doesn't know, and the owner of the cow says, I know that this is what happened, I was there. So he's saying, unless a proof is brought, that we don't go by it. So there seems to be a contradiction between Rav Yehuda and Rav Yehuda. So Tosphot over there makes this yesod that a strong certainty we go by, and a weak certainty we don't go by. A strong certainty is when the person that's certain knows that the other person was also there and could contradict him if he wanted to, but doesn't. That's called a strong certainty, because he has to be sure in order to make this taina. And the weak certainty is when the person knows the other guy wasn't there, so he feels free to say what he wants. So the Tosphot asks on this from Ketubot, over there in Ketubot. Shmuel says that a woman comes into Beit Din, she wasn't found to be a virgin at the time of her marriage. She says, and there was a time period between the actual marriage and the chuppah, when they lived together, like in those days it was like 6-month period. So she says, well, what happened was after the actual marriage, but before that she came to live with her husband, that she was raped, and it's not a virgin, so it's not her fault. So he says, no, I think it was before, and therefore she wasn't a virgin at the time that they actually did the marriage, that they did the actual marriage, the erison, before that they came to live together. And so over there, Shmuel says we go by her, we go by what she's saying. And Abaye says that the statement of Rav Yehuda that you go by Bari Adif, you go by certainty, that comes from that statement. Abaye says it comes from that statement of Shmuel. And then the Gemara pushes out Abaye because of some reason that's not relevant to this argument right now. But then Tosphot says, well, we anyway need to go by Abaye. We need anyway to say that the statement of Rav Yehuda comes from Shmuel. Why? Because the alternative in this Gemara over here, for Shmuel to say that the certainty is that a certainty is, you don't go by a certainty, that's not possible for Shmuel. That's what Tosphot says. He asks it as a question, then he answers it. But the point is that even in the very question itself, the question doesn't make any sense. There's no alternative open for Shmuel, but that still doesn't, that can't possibly mean that Rav Yehuda's din can come from Shmuel. Because Rav Yehuda, according to this Tosphos, is saying a completely different din. He's saying that a strong certainty you go by, a weak certainty you don't go by. Shmuel says over there, a weak certainty you do go by. So Rav Yehuda, his din is contradicting directly the din of Shmuel. So it's not coming from Shmuel, it is contradicting Shmuel. So that's the Kasha and Tosphot. Okay, thank you.